Bonjour, je m'appelle Cathy, je fais mes études en français et j'ai passé une année à Paris. My name is Katelyn. I'm a senior at Hope. I have a double major in history and French and an art history minor, and I'm from Arlington Heights, Illinois. It goes back, I was given the opportunity to start studying French in middle school. So it goes back to a rather, 12-year-old decision making. I didn't like the Italian teacher. I didn't like the other students that were taking Spanish, so French it was. I got lucky and very quickly fell in love with it, but that was how I ended up with French. Wow, what has it done for me? Learning French has given me the opportunity to travel and get to know people that I wouldn't otherwise have, whether those are French people or other study abroad students that I met while studying abroad. Studying abroad for a year, it gave me a lot of confidence in my abilities as a French speaker and also just generally as a student. In my last year in school, every time I have a presentation, I think back to when I had to give a 45-minute presentation in French in front of a bunch of French students and how absolutely terrifying that was, but I did it and I did well. So now every presentation I'm like, I got this, I did this, is 15 minutes, oh, we're good. So I think you have a lot of or at least I had a lot of unique experiences that got me fairly out of my comfort zone, but I wasn't given a choice but to do them, and having succeeded and sometimes failed, but what I've learned from that has given me greater confidence in myself and my abilities across the board. Kind of blessed with the opportunity to work as a volunteer in the 2016 Euro soccer tournament, and that was just an absolute joy. Honestly, probably the best 2 months of my life, just getting to go every day and work with diverse international people and get to use both my French and English and see how useful it is to have both, and just kind of that sense of accomplishment and worth it gave to when someone came up to me, be able to choose between the two and have a greater variety of people that I could communicate and help with. So I think that's probably my favorite memory, but they're endless pretty much. Well, I hope to at this time next year be applying for grad school and jobs and effectively anything that gets me a French visa. So I I hope to kind of use French in my work, but in my everyday today life. In my study, my history studies, I've kind of focused on 17th century French history. So I use it, I want to use it in further in academic and career opportunities, but I also just want to use it in every day-to-day life. So how will I use it? In everything effectively. It might be a long commitment, but it to learning a language, but it comes with so many benefits. I'm dyslexic, so learning a language has been probably the hardest thing I've ever done, just because I had to memorize how to spell things and it doesn't make sense. English doesn't make sense to me, and now there's this other set of how do you do it? So, I understand how long and hard it can be, but the payoff is so much greater. It's so worth it. Of all the people, of friends, and my own study abroad experience, you learn so much and you grow so much. And in most cases, people go into it with an idea of either what they want to do in the future or things they don't like. And so often people come either having had that tested and discovering, yes, no, I really don't want to do this, or, oh, wait, that gave me a second look. Maybe it's something else to explore. And I also think in today's, increasingly closer world where, our generation is, what did they say? We're going to go through 5 jobs in our lifetime at least. And, with all the ways to communicate, we're going to be, without a doubt, working with a, very international population, whatever field we go into. I think that, even if with your studies or whatnot, you're not able to get, fluency in a language, it's worth taking it and getting some understanding of the language, but I think more importantly the culture, because if you're able to look at, and have some understanding of a culture, you can see that, there are other ways of looking at the world enormously. I hit the ground running and was able to, work at a much higher level than a lot of other fellow students in my study abroad program. I was, through my study abroad program, you're given the opportunity to take classes in, actual French universities, and I was able, I had to work hard at them, but French at Hope prepared me to have, the resources and the understanding to be able to adapt to that and, succeed in those classes. So I'm so thankful for what Hope has given me with French, because it's allowed me to, just completely be fine and be comfortable in French. It wasn't horribly difficult for me. I came in with a fair amount of AP credits, but that being said, I think if you start early, even if you have no idea where you want to study or how long you want to study for, if you start early, you can start, planning and making that space in your schedule that you could do it, because it's something that, if it's something that interests you and, you can, even if it's a little challenging, fit it in, absolutely do it, because really after one semester, you're just at the end of those 3-4 months, you're just starting to get comfortable with, your language and where you are. And then if you study the year, you get to build on that, comfort level to by the end where you're like, oh, I've got this. This is no longer hard. I get up and I do this, and it becomes your routine, and it just gives you that longer immersion that I think, coming back, you're, at a higher level of comfortability than people that have studied a semester. So if you can do it, absolutely worth everything, the little things that you have to give up, it so outweighs those.